All right, so here we are breaking out, and what we recommend is that you jump into Google. Good old Google is an amazing resource to find all kinds of amazing local content. So as we are continuing with this theme around Lancaster County and Lancaster City, Pennsylvania, we can simply just go into Google and search for Lancaster County, PA, and it's going to spit back all kinds of information. Now remember, in the earlier, we were talking about the different types of sources. We were probably going to look for government and municipalities and information about schools and news and all that sort of stuff. So if we come into the Google search bar and I just type in Lancaster City, and then we're going to tap on the news section. What I'm going to do is kind of edit this out and put in Lancaster City, PA. I'll hit return, and now we're going to find some information about Lancaster City, Pennsylvania. As we type into this, as we get some information coming back, we can start to find different things in the search results that we can start to tap into. Now I went through and kind of tapped on a couple of these things to make sure that some of these results to find out if they were really good resources, and they were. So I'm just going to go ahead and reopen these. And then you can kind of see as I start to scroll down here, we've got all kinds of resources that we can look at and see if it is available. See if it's really good information for us to start to peruse through. Now I can come up here where it says news and just tap on the news section. You can see it gives us some other resources that might be available for us to find out news that's happening in and around the Lancaster area. So I'm going to go ahead and open a couple of these resources. This is Lancaster Online. We've got Crime Watch. We've got the Philadelphia Inquirer. We can find that story, which was about 1 day ago, at least at the time of this recording. Lancaster City man charged in stabbing. Tragic as that might sound, it's still news that's going to be interesting to people that live in and around the Lancaster area, right? So this is news. Now I can come up here and start to change out the frequency and what kind of news results that I'm actually getting from some of these news sources. But we want to try to find out information and news that's happening relatively recently, right? So there we go. We got the news section right here, and we've got a bunch of different tabs that we can start to check out. Now, one of the other things that you want to check out is Lancaster area municipalities. Municipalities, if I can spell, and apparently I can't. And there we go, and we'll go back into the all section, and we've got county municipalities and schools with regards to the township itself. We'll go ahead and click on this, and that should give us a good start with that. Now let's go in and perhaps type in Chamber of Commerce. You can find all kinds of resources from Chambers of Commerce. Chamber of Commerce. There we go. And there's Lancaster Chamber right there. I can just open this one. I'm sure there's others as well. So let's go ahead and Lancaster Fairfield County of Chamber of Commerce as well. We can open that as well. And look, they actually have a Facebook page. We can open that as well. So now we've got a bunch of different resources available to us. We can start to do some search. Now I'm also going to open one more thing, and this is Lancaster, PA schools. I'll go ahead and do a search for that. Now we're going to get all kinds of resources here. If we just go into the map section, we've got Berks Christian School, School District of Lancaster. So I'll go ahead and open this one up. But you can see all kinds of sources. We've got Conestoga, we've got Higbee, we've got James Buchanan Elementary School. It goes on and on and on. You can probably go through and find a couple of colleges as well that might be in and around this area. So Lancaster, PA, we'll just type in colleges, right? Colleges. I think there's Millersville University might be out that way as well. So I got Lincoln Technical Institute, Strayer, Franklin, and Marshall. So we're going to open this as well. We've got Penn State, Lancaster, Franklin and Marshall, Thaddeus Stevens College of Technology, HACC, Lancaster campus, and it goes on Elizabethtown College, Lancaster Center, Pennsylvania School of Art for the Design, And it goes on and on. Eastern Mennonite University, which is a pretty big school out that way, and it goes on and on. Can you see that we just scrolled through Google to find a couple of different resources that we can tap into? Now let's take a look and see what kind of content that is available for us. City of Lancaster, we've got neighborhoods, we've got services, city gov, we've got businesses, we've got visitors, we've got news that you can look, they've got their own news tab we can tap into as well. I'm going to open this as well to see what they've got. We can even click on their calendar to see what kind of events that are popping up. And behold, at the date of this recording is March 17th, 2022. And listen, we've got Board of Housing Appeals, Lancaster City Human Relations, Historical Commission meetings. Guys, there's a calendar of events. This is all that you need. Just tap into this and repurpose it right to your Facebook page. We can go into the news section as well, celebrating Women's History Month 2022. And I'm sure if they've got more news that's going to be popping up through their search engine, we can go through their recent posts. We've got City of Lancaster awarded 11 AmeriCorps Vista positions, Mayor Source named president of Pennsylvania Municipal League, and it goes on and on and on, right? So they've got content that you can repurpose for your page. Now we'll just get rid of that for the time being. Now, City of Lancaster, there's other things to do. Guys, we're not going to go through all this, but you can see we've got a plethora of information, things to do, what's open this week, Amish attractions, amusement parks, Amish buggy rides, and it goes on and on and on. We can just click on the more. I'm sure there's got a ton of other information that's happening. We've got dining, right? This gives you a good idea of the number of businesses that are in and around the area. Talk about all different types of restaurants. If we clicked on this, it's going to give us all kinds of information about these restaurants, places to eat in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. If you're doing marketing for local businesses, guys, look at all of the resources for ethnic restaurants. You've got banquet facilities, smorgasbords. Oh my goodness, I think I need to go out there and get some smorgasbord on myself. We've got delis, bakeries, soups, Sunday brunches, ice cream shops. It goes on and on. It's making me hungry. Look at all of the content and access and resources for later on. You got shopping, all kinds of information about shopping in and around the Lancaster area. There's tons of outlets out this way that we're going to be tapping into as well. You got lodging, you got the Amish attraction or Amish attractions. You got visitors, information about Visitors Bureau as well. You got events. Let's take a look at events. We can just tap into the events and see what's actually happening in the up and coming calendar below, right? So Sight and Sound Theater, we've got Holidays in Lancaster, American Music Theater. You get the idea, guys. There's tons of resources for you to tap into and find out what's happening relatively soon. So that's that site. Let's come into another one, Discover Lancaster. This is a beautiful image of a typical Pennsylvania scenery as well. Experience Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Check in. This is probably some information about beds and breakfasts and stuff like that. Here is an event, David live on stage. Eat, Sleep, Cartoon. That's pretty interesting. The Cartoon Network. Irish restaurants, perfect for today, which is St. Patrick's Day, at least at the time of this recording. And it goes on and on and on. So that's another resource. Let's move on here. We've got a news story for Lancaster Online. We can just take this URL itself and copy it and paste it directly into Facebook to let people know about this tragedy. It's unfortunate, but listen, this is news. I wouldn't dissuade you from sharing information that a lot of locals really need to learn about, all right? Let's move on. There's probably another information. This is probably from the police department. By the way, guys, crime blotters, perfect sources of information that a lot of people are interested in. It's almost like rubbernecking on the highway when somebody gets into an accident. People always want to know what's happening in and around their area, particularly with crime, right? So you can find out all kinds of information about what's happening about crime recently from here, as well as their Facebook pages as well. Let's move on, right? So the Philadelphia Inquirer, I'm not going to tap into this. Sometimes you're going to click on resources that put you behind a paid gateway. You can choose to kind of circumvent that somehow by simply creating an account with them. I would recommend making a purchase, right? Make a purchase with the local news to source information that's going to lead to new customers and clients for you down the road. So don't worry about the Philadelphia Inquirer article. Here's another article from Lancaster Online that you can scroll through and repurpose this as well. People are just genuinely interested in information, and if you can aggregate that and source that for them and bring it to their attention, they're going to love it, right? Let's go back to the county municipalities and schools. So in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, you've got government. All of these links are super, super relevant to you, right? You can find out about archives, you can budget about the budgets, about commissioner offices. They probably have a calendar in and around here somewhere, but if you need to find out information about anything that's going on with your local municipality and the government, this is the perfect place to do it. You can check out public records, you can check out maps, local weather that's happening, county municipalities and schools, right? So a lot of these are your schools. Guys, for anybody that's living in and around the Lancaster area, a lot of this is going to be resources. If you just click into the school district, you're probably going to find information about this one. So Cocalico is a school that our local district plays against in lots of different sports. And if I just wanted to go and find out more information about this school district, which is in and around the Lancaster area, you could probably find information about the district. Listen, they've got calendars of upcoming events that are happening. Look, right here, they've got the Parent Teachers Association or organization. They've got a book fair that's coming up, well, obviously today. You got more events that are coming up, but you get the idea. They've got calendars. They've got all kinds of information available for employment, enrollment, parents, staff, for students. They're probably not doing the best job getting this information out to everybody over Facebook. And if you can aggregate and curate this information for them, they're probably going to be super grateful that you're doing that on their behalf, right? So there you go, county municipalities. Here's another one, Lancaster Township, Pennsylvania. You got all kinds of information. They've got the yellow pages, you got services, right to know, administration, tax information. You can curate all this information that's going to be very interesting for people that live in and around the Lancaster area for you to get this information out. Now, I know it's probably sticking in the back of your mind. Well, hey, Lancaster Township already has a website. You know, why do I need to do this? Why do I need to set this up? This is for you. You can tap into this information and almost regurgitate it and reap the rewards of being able to curate this content for people. These are perfect sites for you to send traffic back to, right? We're not talking about stealing information here. We're talking about curation and putting information that's readily available to anybody, but you're doing the heavy work for them. Most of your audience, most of the people that are in and around your area are probably on Facebook. Not everybody, and that's okay. But for the people that are online, once you build up your asset, once you build up your local media hero page, you're going to control a ton of attention. And the way to do that is to curate this information and get it out in front of them as well. Right, here's another one, the Lancaster Chamber. Guys, there's so much information on Chamber's pages. Look, you got member directories, you've got digital articles, you've got about us, what we do, community impact, resources, right? They probably have a calendar somewhere about upcoming events. Well, there it is on the next tab, events and programs. Let's just tap into this and see what they've got coming up. To view events, you got to register and click here. All right, some of these chambers have front-facing information, some of them don't. I would simply register and click there to get access to their calendar. That way you can start to find out what upcoming events are happening that are available for the public and what are also available for local members as well. Highly recommend joining the chambers. You get all kinds of information and benefits from doing so. Now let's move on. Right? Here's another one. Here's the Lancaster Fairfield Chamber of Commerce. Look at the events right here on the left-hand side. They've got a scrolling bar. If the other Chamber of Commerce doesn't have it, you can always find another chamber that's fairly local that's going to provide some information. If we just tap into these featured events, we can find out all kinds of information about what's happening on a local basis. Here's a tab. Let's go ahead and tap on this and see what it is. We'll go click on the events calendar, and lo and behold, you're looking for a calendar just like this, which is perfect for your social posting and scheduling stuff out, right? So here they've got ribbon cutting, Southern Roots Nutrition, which is pretty cool. Let's go ahead and tap on this and find out some more information. Here it is, Thursday, March 17th, 2022, 4 o'clock to 4:30 p.m. this afternoon, which is crazy. It gives you the location. What if you showed up there with your iPhone or your Android device and you just wanted to take pictures and give exclusive information right there on your Facebook page? Maybe even take a video, maybe even grab an impromptu interview with this Southern Roots Nutrition? Do you think they might recognize you? Yeah, we're going to get into this a little bit later, but there you go, guys. We're just giving you all kinds of, oh, by the way, look at the top, right? You've got their Facebook, you got their Twitter, you got their LinkedIn, you got their Instagram, you got their YouTube, all kinds of information readily available at your fingertips. And lo and behold, here's another Facebook page for Lancaster Chamber. You can go in there and find out when the last time that they posted information. Here's about Women-Owned Business Spotlight. Very good that they're doing this. You can find out all kinds of information. Find out the Business Award nominations for 2022. And you can find out all those types of businesses and then reach out to them and ask them for an interview. Oh my goodness, all kinds of ideas, right? Here's one for another Lancaster area school district, right? You can come in here and find out all kinds of information. Here where it is in English, as we start to scroll through, they've got a calendar right over here to the side. Click on the calendar, and they're probably going to be listing out their upcoming events. Lo and behold, here we are, St. Patrick's Day, school in session, right? And the next thing is going to be, next event is going to be the 29th, 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock, the Public Budget Forum. You may want to cover that. Or send somebody out to do it on your behalf. All kinds of ways to find out more information about what's happening in and around the local Lancaster area. Here you go. Here's another one for Franklin and Marshall College. This is a college and university that's just outside of the Lancaster, Pennsylvania area. All kinds of information that you can find about what's happening on the college campus as well. Just another resource that you can tap into. Guys, the information that's available to you by way of doing a Google search is absolutely incredible. Now we're going to break out and show you how you can actually get that news and that information to come to you by way of Google Alerts. Let's go ahead and open another tab real quick, and we'll go into alerts.google.com. If I can spell, we'll be doing pretty good here. Now once we're on these alerts, I can make Google find and identify information that's relevant to Lancaster, Pennsylvania, or any topic that I want, and have that information come to me. So I don't have to go out there and search for information every single day about this subject matter. So let's go ahead and type in Lancaster, PA. And what we're going to do here is kind of browse through and see what kind of content is popping up here, right? So we've got, unfortunately, a fatal shooting in Lancaster, PA. He didn't deserve this, all kinds of news and information about what's happening in and around this area. Now you can create all kinds of alerts for different keywords, maybe Franklin and Marshall, maybe Lancaster, PA, Lancaster shopping, Amish, maybe a subsection of Lancaster, PA, all kinds of different alerts. So what I'm going to do is kind of create my own email account specific, and we would highly recommend that you do this. You should probably create a Google Gmail account specific for your local Media Hero page. And the reason that you want to do this is that you're not inundated with information on your personal email or your business email or something along those lines. So what I'm going to do is create an alert, and I want it to be sent to our local Media Hero page. So we'll go ahead and in the background, we're going to set up a Google account for Lancaster, Pennsylvania, our local media asset page. But essentially what we want to do is come in here, and we're going to basically tell Google a couple of different things. How often do we want this to happen? Do we want it as it happens? Do we want it to send us information once a day? We would recommend that you select as it happens, because if you are the first to break the news, a lot of people are going to be appreciative of that. Sources. We would recommend that you select news for this source. And of course, depending on what your language is, you would select the language that you prefer to receive that information in. My native language is English. And of course, we're going to select the United States. We're here in the United States. If you are in another country, you probably want that to be sourced to you and not necessarily receive United States-based news and information. And of course, we only want the best results. Now, the next thing that you want to do is put in your email address, which I haven't set up just yet, but we're going to do that next. And then all you need to do is hit Create Alert. Now what's going to start to happen is news sources come in about your keyword. In this case, it's Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We want to make sure that those sources start to come in to our email address. That way, anytime I go and check in on that email address, I'll have all kinds of sources available for me for consideration to post over to our Facebook Local Media Hero page. And there you go, guys. Just a fair warning here. You are going to receive a ton of content directly through this method. Setting up Google Alerts is going to save you the painstaking effort of having to go out there and find content on your own by going to all those different sources that I just talked about. A lot of these sources, referring to calendars and that sort of thing, is for you to kind of find out what's happening this month. Take that information and then schedule it out over time. That way you don't have to, right? You might want to post and say, hey, the board meeting is being scheduled for the 29th, and you want to, maybe make a reminder on the 25th to let everybody know that they should be attending this event or this meeting or that sort of thing. The more that you can schedule out in advance, the better it's going to be for you, that you don't have to go out there and do this every day. But what we do recommend is that you get at least 1 or 2 posts being scheduled out every single day, right? Sometimes I wake up in the morning and the very first thing I'm doing is I'm just sitting there with a cup of coffee, finding out what's happening with the day. I find a couple of interesting things that are happening in my local area, and I schedule it out, right? I post one right away, and I probably schedule something out for, say, 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon that might be relevant. And then sometimes